Hello everybody, it's Andrew Hutchings here, still not a licensed physician, still worrying that someday when I am one, that people will think poorly of me, because I know I think poorly of people that have gone through medical school, because usually that's all the stuff they know, and they're very close-minded, stupid, and they don't know anything. But let's get back on topic for this video. So this video is about what are the healthiest foods to eat, and it's very simple. Look for stuff that's actually food and natural, not stuff that has been changed so that humans can eat it, not stuff that humans have just recently kind of evolved a little bit to be able to eat. What I mean by that is, we eat lots of breads and stuff. I don't eat that much bread. I don't know how much bread you eat, but it's like very common in our world today. Yet, if you went out into a field of the grains that they grow for bread, you wouldn't be thinking, whoa, look at all this amazing food, I better start munching on it. No. And it's not really food. So what we do is we grind it all up and make it into sort of food. I mean, bread is food, but it's not stuff that the human, and I'll just leave it that the human has been eating for very long. It's very recent, and our bodies have not evolved for millions of years to work ideally with bread, or with rice, or with milk. The dairy situation is a little bit different than like the grain situation, but these things, and processed sugars, people weren't eating that a million years ago. These things are not part of the human. When I say that, it's really because we think of like this is us, but really without the other things that we have to constantly put into us, we die. So you can even say that like foods are part of us. Like fruits, meat, fish, vegetables. Those are things that humans have been eating and evolving alongside for millions and millions of years. It's just like I've said in other videos that the reason why drugs are so harmful to humans is because we haven't been evolving with those drugs for 6 million years. We've been evolving with all of the drugs that are naturally in our body all the time. Perhaps if people started using specific drugs and kept using them for another 10 million years, we would work better with them than without them. But for the moment, we work better only with our endogenously created stuff, unless you have some sort of actual health issue which requires exogenous chemicals to be introduced to alter functions that are messed up. But unless there is a problem in the organism, it works best with everything that's inside it and that has evolved alongside it. Not with stuff that it's not used to working with. It's very simple. I personally do not follow this diet yet, at least. I know I should, but I grew up eating lots of sugar, especially ice cream. Most of my life I've eaten ice cream every single day. Recently, when I didn't have a full, I had a little mini fridge in my apartment, and the freezer it got to like -1 Celsius, or like 31 degrees Fahrenheit. So it could freeze things, but they were like not really frozen. Or perhaps it got to like I don't know, but like they would barely freeze, so ice cream was like, it was just above freeze, but ice cream did not do too well. So I didn't eat it for a while, so that's good. I gotta stay on that track. But yeah, I eat way too much sugar. Probably you do too. I don't know for sure, not everybody does. But pretty much everybody eats things that humans are not meant to be eating. And it's very hard to get off of them because they're like, I don't want to say like drugs, but they are like drugs. They're like super fuel. Not counting dairy, but like our carbohydrates and our sugars are like super fuels. Like a super fuel drug. And although we haven't evolved alongside it, when you introduce it, it really gets the body going. It's straight energy. But while that is good short term, and it feels pretty good short term, and allows for good short term performance, because we haven't evolved with it for a long time, it inevitably leads to problems like insulin sensitivity, like bad cholesterol. I don't know every single problem that's going to be caused by these foods that we haven't evolved alongside. But I'm willing to say that they probably cause pretty much most human health issues that are common nowadays. Because the human body is not made to be unhealthy. It hasn't evolved for 6 million years to have issues. I'm not saying it's perfect, but when given, or when it's with what it's meant to be with, it works pretty well. Now, of course, some people aren't born quite right. It's very sad. Even if you put them with all the stuff that the human body is meant to be with, they're not going to work too well. But if you were born healthy, so long as you are with what you're supposed to be with, I mean like the right foods, clean air, sunlight, water, uncontaminated water, you should do pretty good. But of course, then you can't just sit all day, because that's another thing. It's not how humans have evolved. So when you think about how can I be healthy, you have to think, how has the human evolved for 6 million years? And think about what you're doing. Go, well, I'm sitting down right now. Have humans been sitting down for the majority of 6 million years? No, they've been walking around way more than they were sitting down. Have they been eating Rice Krispie treats for 6 million years? No, they have not. They've been eating meat, fish, fruits, berries, vegetables. Have they been putting them in blenders and blending them up and slurping? No, they have not. Have they been frying them? No, they have not. Have they been blasting their bodies with electromagnetic frequencies from, now we have smart TVs, so even our TVs are blasting stuff through us. Got computers, got cell phones, got the cell towers, got the internet routers. No, we've not been evolved for our bodies to work well with all that. So it's sad that we can't avoid a lot of this stuff for most people. And societal powers don't want us to ever be able to avoid these things, because it's if you are super rich, and I mean like Jeff Bezos rich, you just want everybody to be like a little cog in a machine. It doesn't matter if they're not living the healthiest lifestyles. What matters is that everything works well so that you can get all the luxuries of life. Because if you're ultra super rich, but there's no society, you may as well be dirt poor. And I'm not saying that's the whole issue with it. People also don't want to leave these things we've gotten used to. You probably don't want to give up your cell phone for the rest of your life. I probably don't want to give up my computer. Now, personally, I would love if I could somehow transition to a lifestyle where my computer is the only, I gotta think of how getting the internet. Probably, because I want to live in the middle of nowhere, basically, so somehow I gotta run a cable out to the middle of nowhere to get internet. But then I gotta also be able to work. That's the issue. Basically, unless you want to go back to living in the middle of nowhere on a farm, growing all your own food, raising your own animals, it's pretty hard to get back to how we're meant to be. And health issues will ensue. what we do for survival, our work, has been decoupled from what we do for health, because what we did for survival was very similar for so many millions of years. It became the basis for human health. So now that our work for survival has changed, we have to reincorporate the stuff we used to do, like being physically active, eating all natural foods. Although our work for survival has gone from walking around all day and finding food, or working on a farm to grow it, that's somewhat recent also, to sitting behind a computer or standing in a store. Or it's not very much how we've evolved for millions of years. So I think I said pretty much everything I need to say in this video. I hope you like this video. I've got 420 other videos. And I've got an Instagram, natural_true_fitness. I've got a website, andrewhutchings.org, where you can hire me for consultations. I've got a book on tendinitis that I actually did get to upload the cover for, but now the issue is the digital version looks like garbage, and I don't want to publish garbage. And I don't know how to reformat the digital version, because it's I formatted it to look good. It looks good on the book, but it doesn't give you an option. Do the digital and book separate. So I'm probably just going to not publish a digital version for now. And someday if there's a demand for it, then I will.